Action Church. How long have you been there? Good morning.
But it wasn't like the tree of peanut butter cups, you know. It wasn't that, or it wasn't. I'm just trying to think what was. Or ladies, not the tree of really expensive purses and cute shoes. You know, don't touch that. That's, you know, I'm stereotyping horribly. The tree of Pop-Tarts and porn. I don't know, like something that was just bad for you, but you wanted it really bad. That's why that came to my mind. That's horrible. But anyway, I ran to the park and I noticed for the first time, this was last fall, first time I saw it, that there were a lot of girls running in running uniforms, and I thought, well, that's not going to bother me. I'm fine with that. So I'm running through the park, schlubby old guy running through the park with white hands and white face. Imagine this picture. And then there's more and more like high school girls in track uniforms. I'm like, well, this is awkward. And then I sort of got in a pack with them, and I was like, my competition just kicked in, so I'm trying to beat them, you know, like this freshman girl, which was pretty easy because she's already run like 7 miles and I'm on my first half mile. So I'm like trying to beat the freshman girls. And then the horrible thing happened. I came around the curve on the track over by the playground and I realized like there was just parents and coaches on both sides. And I had a choice at that point. True story. Like, I'm like, I can stop and turn around and run back through the pack of girls. And I thought, well, that'll be awkward. Instead, I chose to run across the finish line with the girls. True story. I placed 17th, but I was disqualified. And I also have, I believe, some sort of restraining order in the park, which is weird. This isn't some freaking Kelly Clarkson song. You know, it's like, what doesn't, and that song is wrong, by the way. I just want to, this is also free advice. If you've ever had diarrhea, you know that song is not true. Like, what doesn't kill you will not make you stronger. But like, I don't even know where I'm going this week. I would leave right now. But yeah, he introduced me at the North York Council Borough meeting, which I got so nervous. Like, we need a spokesperson because like I was like stammering and I think I called him Your Majesty. And at one point I just said, I am Iron Man and ran out of there. It wasn't just some random message from the past from myself like sometimes happen. When you're 46, you can practically hide your own Easter eggs. Like, I don't remember anything. So this would be the smart place to end. But I'm not a smart guy. And I really want you to learn something today. So let's learn this. I made a rhyme. I don't do this very often. If you're here the first time, you're like, preachers always make rhymes. This is a great moment. It's actually a horrible moment at Action Church. But I want you to know this. And I want you to remember this more than anything else, more than my own shame at having to do it. The key is the pause. You got to pause at least 2 seconds for this to work. So it would be like this. It would be like, when I turn my shame to blame, then you got to go 1001, 1002. I'm being like Cain. And it helps to have the music. So I just say all that to say this. Stop going to church. I really, like, I know it's bad to say you're here this morning. After this, stop going to church. About 18 months ago, I bought just a plain white work van on Craigslist. It's always the description of a van that drives away from a crime. I always feel good about that. Like, it was a middle-aged white male in a white van with, But I purchased this van, and the other day, looking around my van, I lost one of those earbud things. I started digging through the glove box, where I keep like my license and my registration and my spare sunglasses. And when I bought it, I never really cleaned it out because it had all the receipts that the guy had spent on the truck. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of keep that in there. And I'm digging through looking for earbuds, and I found a whole different kind of bud. I found like a half a bag of pot. Marijuana, the ganja. I mean, I'm like, oh, I'm just freaking out because I'm like, I've been driving around for 18 months with drugs in the van, you know? And I'm just flipping out. I'm like thinking like, oh my Lord, like that's where my license and registration goes. Like, what if I would have got pulled over? You know, it's like, what if like I would have dug for my registration and that would have popped out? I'm like, officer, really, it's not mine. I don't know about you, but if you've ever come in here and there are no windows, it's like this was a bar or something. It's weird. Like there's no windows and it's super dark and I trip over that dang iPad stand every time I walk in here without the lights on and I say horrible things right in church. The reason why it's called manifesto, I actually, and this is a sign of, you know, that you probably should be in some sort of facility, I sat down and wrote a manifesto one night. It was in 2007, and I was like, this is what the church would be like. This is what Action Church would be like. And Josiah was reading it even this morning because he's actually putting out a nicer version of it. And he's like, this is like an angry email I would get from my mom. And I was like, yes, that's pretty much, you've captured what the manifesto was. Is starting to like make noise over the, see this sound, right? Now that's annoying, right? When this is going on, I can't even think right now, but when this is going on everywhere, it gets difficult to think, doesn't it? And it also gets really, really annoying. Like I'm actually getting a little angry. I gotta stop that, I can't take it. You might know this as the vomit bowl. Who has a vomit bowl at your house? I know we do, and it's a blue plastic bowl like that. But here's the thing about the bowl. You don't want to eat popcorn out of it later. In fact, we have another blue popcorn bowl, and I always say, this ain't the bowl, is it? Right? You know, like, they've been like playing this for fun. And here's the thing about it. They sent me the file. They sent me this MP4 file, and it's called Daddy's Tantrum. And they want me to share it with you. So,
Since my piece lately having a tantrum up there, you know, they're stomping, clapping. Next thing I know, there's going to be cries. No! No!
I blame Kevin Harvick. The election is over, which I'm excited about. I actually cheered for diarrhea the other night. Wasn't me. We were watching Hulu, and that weird diarrhea ad, which I think is pro-diarrhea, I'm not sure. But like it came on, and I was like, yes! And my family's like, you're for diarrhea? I was like, yes, that's something we can all get behind. Flourish finale, and then Bill Gates drinks poop water. Bill Gates drinks poop water, which at some point in our life are going to have to drink the poop water. Sometimes you gotta just drink the poop water, right? At some point in the sermon, I'm gonna quit saying poop water, I promise. But at some point, we're gonna have to drink the poop water. Because at some point, you have to sort of drink the poop water. We have to sort of make a decision. Am I committed, am I willing, as Bill Gates did, to drink the poop water? But there's a day coming when you have to drink the poop water. This is the moment when the people who are flourishing like palm trees have to drink the poop water. That's a bad day. That's a day you got to drink the poop water. At some point, you have to decide. And there's going to come a day to have to drink the poop water.
And so that's kind of my dream for what this place will become. I want to put the teachings of Jesus into action, but specifically, I want to be a place where everyone can feel comfortable, where everyone can know that we're not going to throw rocks at them, where everyone can know that even though your sin may not be my sin, man, I'm weighted down with it. You probably came this morning and thought, I bet they're going to tell me to believe in Jesus. Honestly, I hope you do. You're welcome even if you don't, but I hope someday you do believe in Jesus. But I have better news for you. The truth is, Jesus believes in you. Jesus believes in me. Jesus believed in that woman that everybody else thought was hopeless. That's, I think, the most hopeful news that we can have, isn't it? Jesus believes in you. Jesus believes you can live a completely different kind of life.
Fat Daddy's nightclub in York sees crowds at night, but Sunday morning? This is church.
As we free fall somewhere out there, just hold on. We dream of wings and magic things so we can all be, so we can all be free.
Marks, get set, go. Done. Oh wait, no.
We all lose. No, nobody wins in this game.
The real loser is the tablecloth.